I had a little bit of an accident on the balcony about a week ago, and it involved my microdwarf tomatoes. I could blame it on the flood or my own bad design, but the thing is, this is what happened to my microdwarf tomatoes. They actually look pretty good in this picture, but unfortunately, most of them broke. Luckily, only two of them were unsalvageable, and a few had to be moved to hydroponics. To keep from dripping on my downstairs neighbors when I water, I put my Dollar Tree stackers in this oil change pan that I found on Walmart. I thought it was a pretty good idea, and it worked fine for a while. But we had a really bad storm that brought a lot of flooding to the area, and this pan was overflowing. On the other towers, it wasn't a big problem. I just took each level of the stackers off one at a time, and then I drained the water from the oil pan. But when I set up this stacker for the tomatoes, I found that the tomatoes were trying to sprout, and to keep them from doing that, I attached them to the levels above them, kind of like this. I melted two holes in the planter, and then I ran a zip tie through it. Then I strung some plastic to hold the tomato up to keep it from sprawling. I just don't have the room. At first, I thought I would untie each of the tomatoes from the level above, but then I thought it's only 4 levels. I can pick this up. And although it was light enough, it just tipped over. And I ended up with this mess, which took me about 24 hours to clean up. Each of the plants needed to be repotted, and before I could do that, I needed to set up a pot for them. Some of these plants had a lot of tomatoes on them, but this orange hat tomato only had the one tomato, and it had lost all of its leaves. I had just replaced one that died with this tomato. Luckily, it didn't suffer much damage. As it turned out, this one looks pretty good, but it actually broke right at the base. I was able to just put it into a hydroponics setup, and it's doing fine now. I was able to take these two with their root balls and just pop them into another pot, so they didn't have to go through much of a transition. Among the mess, I found 6 loose green tomatoes, and I had no idea what variety they were. 2 of them have ripened and they're yellow, but there are 4 varieties of yellow tomatoes on this stacker, along with 2 varieties of orange tomatoes, and luckily there's only one variety of red tomatoes, and that's Micro Tom. Here are 6 of the plants in their new homes, looking pretty happy. This orange hat is hanging in there, but I think it'll be okay. Most of the leaves died on this one. I had to cut them off. I found these the second day. The branches had broken off from the roots, and so I put them in hydroponics. They've probably even got roots by now. It looks like this one wants to survive. I have pretty much hope for it. Here's a few that I put out a few weeks ago. They weren't in the tower, and they look like they're a little too big for it anyway. When this first happened, I just wanted to cry. I thought it was going to be a total loss. But most of these plants survived, and they're doing quite well. A few of them had to put their energy into growing new roots instead of more tomatoes. And although my stackers didn't work outside, they're doing nicely inside. I can fit 14 plants under one grow light, and I don't have to worry about that oil pan getting flooded again. and I can grow them in spaghetti sauce jars without worrying about them tipping over.